So that would tell us that this cut would be too big and that one would be too small. But that is how it all started. It was just the basic MAWBOARDS, dropping everything back, but it was primarily straight lay to start off with, and then it developed. So, but the first thing we've done, if I do one board, those ones need teaching a little bit more than what you can just, you know, just see on a video. So we'll stick with what you sort of want to know. This is a herringbone board, used to be called the holly board. It was the answer to scribing in whether the wall is in or out. It come about just to do the end ones, later realised it does the sides and everything. Later on it's realised that it does absolutely everything. On the 45, that is, herringbone or just fitting on the 45, it makes no difference. It works with the same template that comes with the standard set. And to start off with, obviously, it was just that holly board there, holly board or herringbone board, whatever you want to call it. And the first problem that started arising, well, not so much, was lining it up. Because without the helper there, it was so easy, even though that is locked in there, you know, when you put that on there, for there to be any kind of micro thing. So that used to be just a fucking pain in the arse. So to solve that, helpers put on the side. Now they do more than just this now, but we're just going to do the one herringbone board. Just do one at a time, okay? So no matter what you're fitting, you put it in there. It's now supported on that side, locked into position, and when you've done that, it's just the standard board against the wall. You can really, you know what I mean, you've got that ability to pull it down, put it up against there, and run your knife across. So basically what this one is doing is just dropping it back 7 this way. So your cut in theory is taking it square on, isn't it? Now this is the cut and that knot that you will see with all of the other templates, but it's not the same because obviously this is one that works with every size. But it could be explained as, you know, the same cut as what the only cut there does, which is just that one done straight on, bang on. It doesn't do corners. This is why, you know, we don't see the videos of the corners at the moment. It just seems to be showing this one same bloody cut on every single video that you see. See, now the holly bush, lucky enough, that's hitting dead in the corner there, but in theory, she'd only get that one straight. If the corner was there, you wouldn't be getting it, and this is the difference between how things work, you know. You want to be able to cover everything. Now, the simple thing that we've done with the herringbone set to get it to cover all these corners is that we added the mighty death square and the pipe finders. Pipe finders, again, very original MAWBOARDS tool, very specific. That hooks on the pipe, and when it's screwed off the field, all these marble holes, they will work on whatever size tile you're fitting, you know. So that's your 3, that's your 4, they were just put on there, but primarily it's just the pipe and the number 7 hole when it's on the MAWBOARDS. Again, this one has been developed, believe it or not. We did very long time ago put a little half moon in there with the hole on that, but you just couldn't get it in everywhere, so it became redundant. But when it comes to doing these in the corners, but for an example on this one, I'll show you quickly. herringbone board can go on there. But if that was, say, a corner, you're not going to fit your bloody tile cut on there because this one's got to be cut in. You'll be able to get that, but again, this is, you know, if there was a wall there, so your options, first ones, will be the standard set. Now, they're still just as good. Instead of having the helper up the side this time, you just use the field tile, didn't you? So you're never fucking balancing nothing. So that one can knock into there and drop it back in the board. Any board you want fit, because whatever one fits it best. Now we know that that wall is going to be slightly out, but if it weren't, this will be the template that will work with it. So to get over that one small problem, you will take your pipe finder or the scribe tool, but if you just got the herringbone set, it'll just be the pipe finder, and all you want to do is get it square off of that field. So you're basically going that way, square off the field. Wherever that point touches, you're just going to hit that number 7 hole there. And that's going to make a little mark. Put your template up against the wall. The mark is telling me, see, when it was cut, the cut would have been too big like we said. So you've only got to find that mark, slide her up, see, in the real world, not everything is going to be ideal like it would be in a little dog box training thing, would it? You're going to have cuts that are going to be thrown in that are just going to need knowledge, not a tool. And if it is going to be a tool, you know, there's no point in having one that doesn't do it all. So again, now, she is ever so accurate. But that is, you know, so if there's a problem, you get out of it. If it works square, then you just use that straight lay set, wouldn't you? And if it wasn't squared, then you've got the answers for it. You have, you know what I mean? But on these ends, when it comes to those cuts, you know, it doesn't get explained or used. Or, you know, I don't get that excited of it because it's always fucking right and it's always going to do just those cuts and it's just fucking boring. And that's all it is, you know. So, I mean, I'll just quickly show you. I'll just knock this one out with fucking absolute ease and confidence. Again, put that helper there because you just don't want to be worrying about that sort of thing, do you? There's one more less worry off your plate. The longer cut you are away from the wall, you know, the harder it's going to be. The one difference that really is the difference with the MAWBOARDS is to have one that works on everything. And if it don't, then it's just not worth it to me because you'll be just taking it out of the job and that lot, being able to do all this and being frustrated because you don't know how to get, say, the corners and that. Hence why you don't see any of them doing videos on corners and difficult shots. Only those little simple easy ones like this, that even though, you know, there is no template there and that can work on one of these 7 1/4. So you've only got a limit at your bag as to what tile you're going to be working with. And again, for me, as, you know, someone who's got just so much more experience than them, you just know you're going to be doing a little bit more than just a 9x3 or a 4-inch, you know, or whatever the other ones, those little tiny ones. Oops. You can tell the inexperience and that lot with the options and you know the things. All of this board are first like. I mean that has got certain kind of rules in that lot, but I can assure you it's not the ones that they know. So she's always gonna get that in. So that's no matter what size you've got. So you know, if the wall was out this and the other for whatever reason, you've got the all scribe set out. Remember, so the all scribes don't want to, these are better because that is going to be your scribe. Say if we're doing that one, that is going to be the scribe template of doing it just the MAWBOARDS method, which is dropping it back 1. In this case, 7 1/4, but on the MAWBOARDS it is 7. That would go up against there if the wall is square to have that drop back. But if it wasn't square, then you just put in the other one there if you want to do it square on. And there's your dual scribe there with the 7.25. I'll probably get moaned at now because I'm drifting off into one. But the only thing is, one thing leads to another. So you could get that cut, but again, if so facto, in a lot of cases, why are you going to fucking bother if the hollyboard just does it? This is, you know, a lot of the stuff that I was doing just because I really enjoy this sort of thing, finding out, figuring it out, having an answer for something. But everything we do, I want it to work on everything. Not just be one trick ponies to fool you. So hence why we've learned it over the years and just got better and better and better. Right, so if I wanted to do that one by just dropping it back 1, if I'm in doubt, I will literally just get my pipe finder or my scribe tool, put it on the end there, use this tile to get it square. Anything you want, but as long as you're on the tile, you always square off the field. Again, make you look dead. That mark is showing me exactly where the cut's going to be if the wall was out. Then you simply just put your little on there. You can slide that up to there. She'll make that mark. And get that cut. The reason for it is always that, you know, square off the field. If you're just running up there and hitting 7 1/4 because you've dropped 7 1/4, then that motherfucker is dead on balls accurate. So again, it always becomes obvious when the penny drops, but I understand that it's not beforehand. Oops, have I just... But you do have to do all the swapping about the task. Oops. I'll cut it on the wall line then, it's all right. There you go. You know, all of these are just how it works. I'm not very good at explaining it. But again, same size tile, isn't it? Now, oops. Obviously with all these MAWBOARDS, screen cat, this, that and the other, and in all honesty with you, just overexcited fucking youngsters thinking that everything that they're doing is the best way and stuff like that, like when it's obviously not. Really obviously, but it's obviously because they can't understand everything I'm doing with this at the moment, so obviously that adds to the confusion. But you know, I don't even know if this video will be a success because I've gone from 7 1/4 to 3. But I mean, we'll keep stabbing at it, but again, if it's just one fucking cut all the time, I'm half getting confused how everyone seems to be getting a little bit excited, or is it just looking at the media presence and that lot, because you know, I could do them all with just a bite holder. I can do all the headers and other cuts and anything on the 45 with just that. I can do everything with just the MAWBOARD. Now, this are the greatest ones in the box. The square to go on there, but if you're working on the 45 now, it's got that. Believe it or not, no one used a square on LV2, especially any of these ones. Very, very simple this, isn't it? How it drops back, stuff like that. But yes, at the time, obviously I'd learnt the short scribe, but we're doing that with wood planks. So this was a version of that, because that's how we fitted on the wood planks, you know. Wasn't really seeing it anywhere else. But again, so then we just done it with straight lay, made it so it's compression fit. But everything is always dropping back to that same distance, which is a nice distance from the wall. You know, it's not too far, not too short. And then all of a sudden that one won't fit in one cut, so you make a smaller board and then you make one to fit it. There was no over complication of it. Everything works to the template. It's the same drop every time. So that is where, you know, as much as the others would not, you know, when they're trying to copy it and stuff like that, look, you're just not doing the same if you just, if it's one for every single size plank. You're basically making one. I mean, they obviously haven't gone up because that has got to be this big. Your templates are getting ridiculous. But even then, I just made it smarter, wasn't it? So that one to do one way, turn it round if you want to do it the other. If you just want to use them, you know, we do all of our fit and try phone run. You're just not going to catch us fucking trying to fit on a decent, because the quality of our work is a hell of a lot higher standard. And and no one's doing an absolute quality LVT job and smashing it down on pressure sensitives, you know, because you just don't. So anyway, I don't know how long this video is, but I've been asked to try and do them this way. But again, there's just so much the MAWBOARDS doing, you know, every single cut. So it's very difficult to show it all in one here, and then, but at the same time, it's confusing, I suppose. Learn how to fucking talk properly, I suppose.